start with my address, right? Thank you all so much. Please be seated. As the Dean of the University of Colorado Law School, it is my distinct pleasure and honor to welcome you to the 129th Annual Commencement Ceremony for the class of 2024! Woo! Woo! Welcome to families, to friends, to staff, to faculty, and to all of the people who made this day possible. I'd like to extend a special welcome to John Echohawk, our keynote speaker, to David Stark, this year's Order of the Coif recipient, and to Caitlin McHugh, chair of the Law Alumni Board. I want to start by saying the obvious. Graduates, you are all amazing, and we are so very pleased. We are so pleased and proud that you chose to come to Colorado Law. During this period surrounding commencement, I have absolutely no doubt that you have heard and you will continue to hear words of encouragement and support. So I'm here to offer you a few more. I'm going to do so in a specific framework. I am going to frame my remarks with the theme of courage at the intersection of joy. For some of you who may have been around at that time, at the beginning of the year, I actually started my address to the 1L class with this very same theme when I welcomed them. And so it's only fitting that I usher you out on the same theme. Let's talk a few moments about courage. I will start with a quote from Maya Angelou. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. I will add my own words to this definition, and in true law school fashion, I will start with a few definitions in the negative. Model Penal Code, folks. Courage is not the absence of fear in the face of adversity. Courage is not the will or the desire to dominate. Courage is, getting to the affirmative, the ability to act decisively in the face of fear that you may encounter in hard times. Courage is the willingness to face discomfort or danger in the pursuit of the greater good for yourself or for others. Courage is the willingness to agree or to dissent when integrity or humanity demand that you do so, notwithstanding what others are saying or doing. Courage embodies a deep sense of determination and a resilience that propels individuals to step outside of their comfort zones, to take calculated risks, and to stand up for their beliefs, values, or principles. Now I will talk about joy. And honestly, this concept feels a lot easier because isn't joy just being really, really happy? Well, sometimes. But joy very often is much more than that. Joy is the state of being characterized by feelings of contentment. Joy can arise from various sources, such as achievements, relationships, experiences, or even simple, small moments of appreciation in life. Most importantly, joy is typically more profound and long-lasting than fleeting emotions like amusement or pleasure. It can be both a mental and a physiological state affecting your mood, your facial expressions, your body language, and your overall outlook in life. Most importantly, joy is typically something that we need to think of every day, even along with courage, and notwithstanding the fact that courage and joy sometimes seem like separate concepts. The intersection of courage and joy lies in what I will call condoned regard for the self and for others. This means an attitude of positive focus that includes, for example, the right to refuse demands, even urgent and seemingly incessant demands, when those demands seek to undermine reasoned discretion or the well-being and the greater good of others. Now, my address to a large audience, or indeed pretty much any audience, would not be complete without a story about my relationship with my late mother. She had very little formal education, and she was one of the most brilliant and thoughtful people that I have ever known. I grew up in very humble circumstances. We had few material things, and my mother, being ever the pragmatist, frequently encouraged me to temper my expectations, though she didn't quite say it that way. Nonetheless, like many children, I looked forward to celebrating family holidays and, frankly, any opportunity where I might get a gift. And so one Christmas, I was especially hopeful because that year, my mother had gotten a part-time job at Sears. And this job meant that she would have an employee discount on her purchases. I knew that that would bode well. And you know what? I was right. I got what I had been waiting for, a bicycle. When Christmas Day came, I unwrapped the paper around the large box, and I turned to my mother and I asked, "When can we put it together and go outside?" She said, one word, "Later." Now, for some of you who come from households like I did, you know, later could mean a few hours, it could mean a few days, or it could be much, much longer. It turned out to be the latter. At that point in my life, we lived in a traffic-choked area in the center of Los Angeles, and my mother was afraid to let me ride a bike there. So she said we would wait until we moved. That move was almost 2 years later. Not kidding, wish I were. I was 11 when we moved to our modest suburban home with less busy streets. And not long after we got there, my stepfather assembled the bike, handed it to me, and said, "Have fun." There was a problem. I did not know how to ride a bicycle. And at 11 years old, I was embarrassed to be seen learning to ride a bike outside in front of kids, some of whom were half my age, and they already knew how to ride. So I started working really hard to muster my courage to go out there in front of the kids and show them what I did not know how to do. My mother, however, being ever the pragmatist, said, "You know what? We will pull the car out of the garage. There's enough space in there for you to go round and round until you learn how." So I circled in the garage for days, sometimes crying in frustration because I kept running into the walls. It wasn't that big a garage. But finally, I did get it. I learned to ride a bike, and I was thrilled. And the next day, with no fanfare, I took my bike outside and I explored the neighborhood. My mother taught me some valuable lessons there. I suppose the first one is patience in the face of disappointment, but that is a theme for another speech. What I also learned through that whole time was that confronting pain and reaching pleasure, just like courage and joy, they don't have to be performed in any particular way. And perhaps most importantly, they don't have to be performed in front of other people to have meaning and value. Sometimes you just do things and you get them done, and you would have manifested great courage in doing so, and you would experience great joy, and perhaps only you know that. The intersection of courage and joy includes what I call authentic living. It is a sense of alignment with your core internal identity and a rejection of superficial or external pressures. I urge you, graduates today, to live courage and joy as you choose. This is true even in what may be, especially in our current times, a crucible of contested ideas, of extensive professional and public scrutiny, of verbal assaults, or even threats of physical violence. Live courage and joy as you choose. Courage combined with joy is understanding your worth and your value as a human being and all that that entails. Students, I challenge you to leave Colorado law and be courageously joyful. You and the others before you are the heart and the spirit of this great institution. And we, administrators, faculty, staff, are cheering you in your journey forward. So, congratulations, graduates. Woo! As we gather here today, we honor and acknowledge that the University of Colorado Law School is on the traditional territories and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, the Cheyenne, and the Ute peoples. Further, we acknowledge the 48 contemporary tribal nations historically tied to the lands that comprise what is now Colorado. In doing so, we celebrate the diversity among us, celebrating the First People. And I will say, appending on that land acknowledgement statement, that we understand that this is only a statement and probably doesn't go far enough. So I want you to know that this is a very, very much opening discussion of what we hope will be a broader understanding of what Native peoples have done for us and brought to us. And so now, it is my pleasure to introduce Jason Highwalking, and I'd like you all to please stand for his song.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to take a quick few minutes just to express my gratitude for being here to share these songs of the Native peoples. And just to kind of preface what I'm going to be singing, first is a prayer song in hopes that with this song, you will have great abundance and a lot of good things coming towards you in your life as graduates. And then the second will be an honor song. So yeah, I'll get started. Yeah. hi, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, 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 ah, ha, ya, ya, hey, oh, hey, hey, ya, hey, ah, ha, ya, ya, hey, oh, hey, hey, ya, hey, ya, ha, ha, yo, hey, hey, ya,
cha, hey, ah, hey, ho, wo, specule, wechane, yelo, hena, pechana, kenola, yelo, hey, yara, hey, ha, yara, hey, ha, cha, hey, ah, hey, ho, won't speculate, wechane, yelo, and a pechana, canola, yelo, hey, hey, oh.
The translation to that song is, the people are standing because the elderly and young can't. To be male and a female student is the only way. There's life and knowledge, and the only way is to always be ready. Thank you.
Bienvenidos a todos. Mi nombre es Violeta Chapin. Soy una profesora de leyes aquí en la Universidad de Colorado y todos estamos muy felices y muy orgullosos que nuestros estudiantes se están graduando hoy. Nosotros sabemos que todos los graduados aquí han tenido éxito en su vida con la ayuda, el apoyo y el amor que sus familias y amigos les han dado. Mil gracias a todas las mamás, los papás, los abuelos, los hermanos, las hermanas, los primos, los vecinos, todos aquí que han caminado juntos con nuestros estudiantes en este viaje. Tienen el mundo frente a ellos y hoy lo vamos a celebrar. Gracias y otra vez, bienvenidos.
Good morning. To the class of 2024, it is my great pleasure to be here to celebrate with you today. As I do at the beginning of every one of my classes, I have to begin with a brief administrative announcement. This one is from the faculty. I'm happy to say that today and for the rest of your lives, no one is on call, so we have that going for us. In seriousness, we could not be prouder of each of you for overcoming the numerous challenges that you have faced to be here today, and for the high level of dedication, resilience, and growth that you've shown over your time here at Colorado Law. And to all of the family members and friends of our graduates, I just look around and see we have packed this whole room out all the way up to the balcony. Thank you all so much for supporting our graduates throughout their journeys. You know what amazing people they are, and we share your pride in honoring their accomplishments today. Now, it's my privilege to recognize our graduates who have excelled academically. The rule of law rests on the intellectually honest exploration and development of legal doctrine, and the graduates that we appoint to the Order of the Coif have demonstrated a high level of excellence, engaging with the law in the classroom and beyond. And in turn, they've demonstrated a commitment to practicing law with a high level of rigor. Under the Order's constitution, only the top 10% of the graduating JD class of each law school is eligible for membership. Because grades are not yet finalized, our tradition is to recognize the top 15% of graduates at the end of the fall semester in the printed program as candidates for membership in the Order of the Coif. Please join me in congratulating them. All right, furthermore, it is our tradition at graduation to confer honorary membership in the order to a member of the Colorado law community who has practiced with excellence and distinction. And this year, we are pleased to honor David Stark, who's a retired partner at Faegre, Drinker, Biddle, and Reith, who has practiced law in Colorado for more than half a century. He started as a deputy district attorney in Denver, rising to chief deputy, and then serving as partner and in senior counsel positions at the firms of Roth and Brega, Otten Johnson, Robinson, Neff, and Raganetti, and Dorsey and Whitney. And in particular, we salute Dave for his demonstrated commitment to the ethical and professional practice of law. Among his many public service commitments, Dave is the chair of the Colorado Supreme Court Advisory Committee on the Practice of Law and a longtime member of the court's Standing Committee on the Rules of Professional Conduct. Dave has played a critical role in inculcating ethical and professional values in law students and young lawyers alike, serving both as an adjunct professor here at Colorado Law, teaching our ethics course, and as his firm's professional responsibility counsel. Dave has worked closely with countless law students and attorneys, not only to help them navigate the complexities of the rules of professional conduct, but to inculcate an ethic of practicing law with integrity. So for a lifetime of professional accomplishments, serving service and contributions to the Colorado legal community and the legal profession, I'm pleased to confer honorary membership in the Order of the Coif to Dave Stark, who will now deliver brief remarks. Dave.
Good morning. Dean Innes, new graduates, honored guests, faculty, Professor Reed, thank you for this tremendous honor. It comes 51 years after my graduation from CU Law, and it's quite a surprise to me. I must also thank my family, my law firm, Faegre Drinker, and the Law Alumni Board. I did not receive this honor when I graduated from law school, and you might say I was a late bloomer. I lacked a sense of direction and purpose in my first year, and did not receive good grades until my second and third years. My change came about when I found a mentor and several more. My primary mentor was Brooke Wanneke. Brooke was a CU Law graduate, class of 1945, and Order of the Coif. I first met Brooke as a clerk in the Denver DA's office while I was in my third year. She was the best lawyer, the best mentor, and the best writer I have ever known. It was Brooke that taught me how to be a professional, how to write, and how to be the kind of lawyer that I wanted to be. Brooke and I worked together in the DA's office for 5 years, she as chief appellate deputy and me as one of the chief deputy DAs. She remained my mentor for 42 years after that. I had other mentors over the years, including Dale Tooley and Chief Justice O. Otto Moore, but it was Brooke that taught me how to be a lawyer and what it meant to be a member of this honorable profession. There are many pieces of advice I could give you, but the most important is to find a mentor, one that you respect and trust, and one that respects and trusts you. My formative years in my career led me to understand that I owed a debt of gratitude to the law school and to the justice system. I began to repay that debt to the law school by making a habit of contributing to the law school every year. I started out at $50 a year. This is because I had little money when I was in law school, and I went to Dean Don Sears and asked for a small scholarship. He agreed, and I made a promise that I would give back to the school throughout my career. I also made efforts to give back with teaching as an adjunct, speaking at CLEs, and serving on the Law Alumni Board. This is my second piece of advice to you. Support this great law school with your time, your money, and your energy. Finally, my third piece of advice to you is to give yourself to the justice system. This means participating in access to justice programs and pro bono service. I've tried hundreds of cases and represented many, many clients, but the most rewarding work over the years has been to represent those who cannot afford counsel. Those I remember best are veterans, veterans with traumatic brain injuries, and homeless vets. I also remember convincing the Board of Veterans Appeals to award disability benefits withheld from a brave vet who was exposed to Agent Orange. It was so satisfying and rewarding to know that I had made a difference. Please see to it that you give of yourself. Thanks for this wonderful award.
Friends, family, colleagues, faculty, staff, and most importantly, class of 2024, welcome. And thank you for the support you've provided our class over the past 3 years. We finally made it. While trying to figure out just what I wanted to say today, I watched graduation speeches, searched for inspirational quotes, tried to find some words of wisdom to impart on you all. But what words of wisdom could I offer that the professors, family members, and colleagues around us have not already provided? So instead, I offer you the words of someone like me, a girl who went to law school never expecting to and found her voice. In the wise words of one Elle Woods, we did it. This moment is a celebration of all the achievements, as well as many others that have brought us here today. Thinking back to 3 years ago, where were you? Some of us were graduating from college in the midst of the pandemic, unable to celebrate in person with friends and loved ones. Others were still deciding if committing to law school was the right choice for their future aspirations. And still others were already working in the legal profession, but deciding to take the next step to further your career. Regardless who you were, wherever you were, whatever you were doing, you made a decision that brought you here, to this community, to the people around you today. Looking back to a warm and sunny August day 6 semesters ago, we were piled in the courtroom, told about the trials and tribulations we may face and the work to expect. At that time, we were still wearing masks everywhere, getting the newest vaccine, and encouraged to continue social distancing. Even though it was only 3 years ago, in many ways the world was a different place. Over that first year, we saw the world start to recover from the devastation of the pandemic, and because of that, we had the opportunity to socialize with our classmates and appreciate the human contact we may not have before. After 2 eye-opening semesters, we completed our first year of law school and realized we could do this, at least for just 3 years. Starting our second year, we all came together for the first time in months, after spending what was, for many of us, the first time working a legal job. Over the summer, many of us discovered the type of work we wanted to do, or the type of work we didn't, and gained more confidence in ourselves as future lawyers. We also watched as an institution which is often looked to as a pillar of our profession made decisions that have shaken many of our fields of practice, impacted countless lives, and very literally changed the textbooks we used just the year prior. We came back all the same to continue on this journey together. That second year was more trying in many ways. It was a test of the friendships we made in our first year sections, a test of our passions, when we finally had the chance to take classes and explore areas of law we thought we wanted to pursue. Many of us worked harder the second year than in our first. And when that grueling second year finally ended, many secured summer jobs that would likely result in a return offer. When our third year came around, we were confident in our friendships that had survived 2 summers, in our passions, and in our ability to succeed in law school, and for some of us, confident in our future careers. It was finally our time to breathe, to see the light at the end of the dark and too small tunnel of law school. Our time to be excited for the future and what we will do and all that we will build for ourselves in this world. Collectively, we've experienced a lot together. From the relief of finishing our first semester in one piece, to the low of receiving a disappointing grade, to the excitement of turning in that last final. It's been a rewarding experience. Yet each of us has faced challenges over the past 3 years. For some of us, the challenge has been learning the language of a new field of study. For others, the challenge was navigating the losses we faced along the way. For some, it may have been our own bodies adjusting to a new stationary way of life, or simply the allergens unknowingly ingested. As we celebrate this milestone today, take a minute to celebrate your perseverance in the face of those challenges. You've earned this moment. Soak it in. You've put in the hours, days, years to get to this stage. To call yourself a graduate of Colorado law, you're a lawyer now. For the next few months, will be filled with uncertainty, change, new places, and new faces. For some of you, the next few months may be a new job in a familiar place. For others, it may be moving to a new place you've never been. But as we take these steps together, let's all remember to take the time to celebrate how far you've come and how far you'll go. Thank you, class of 2024, for a wonderful 3 years, and congratulations to us all. Please join me in welcoming Justin Maloney to present our class gift.
Thank you, Stephanie, and good morning, everyone. If we haven't met, hi, I'm Justin. I've had the honor of serving as the class of 2024's treasurer for this past year, and today I'm happy to announce our class's gifts to the law school. As a class, we raised just over $1,000, and that'll go towards improving technology for future classes of Colorado law students. We're also excited that our fellow graduate, gifted artist, and my good friend Andrew Clark is donating art to the law school. Thank you all for your generosity. It is greatly appreciated. I'd also like to specifically thank 3 groups of people while I can. First, to my fellow graduates, you all have made my time here at Colorado Law so special, whether in class, at Winter Park, or at the Dark Horse after a long week solely for the cheap food. I always thoroughly enjoyed the time we spent together. Thank you all for being such great colleagues and friends. Next, to our incredible professors, you all have poured so much into each of us these last 3 years, not only by sharing your brilliance with us, but also by serving as mentors and trusted advisors. I can't thank each of you enough for everything you've done for us. And finally, to my family and friends who made the trip from the East Coast to be here, thank you for always supporting me, and I love each of you so much. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce my friend and our class of 2024 secretary, Brittany Beecher.
Hello. Thank you, Justin. As we stand here today, poised on the brink of a new chapter in our lives, let's take a moment to recognize a few of those who have received awards this year. First, let's acknowledge Professor Ben Halim, recipient of the Excellent in Teaching Award. Her unwavering commitment to enhancing our educational experience has left an undeniable mark on each and every one of us. Next, we extend our heartfelt congratulations to Stephanie Reifenberg, the deserving recipient of the Distinguished Service Award. Stephanie's tireless efforts and remarkable leadership in various roles have not only transformed our law school community, but have also exemplified attributes such as perseverance, organization, and thoughtfulness. Lastly, we honor Evan Mahan with the Outstanding 3L Mentor Award. Evan's guidance, support, and unwavering belief in others has been a guiding light through the challenges of law school, inspiring us to realize our full potential and embody the spirit of mentorship. Now, please join me in congratulating them and in welcoming Anita Glazer, Class of 2024's Vice President, who will be introducing the keynote speaker.
Thank you, Brittany. I have the distinct honor of introducing our commencement speaker, John Echohawk. John Echohawk Pawnee is the executive director of the Native American Rights Fund. He was the first graduate of the University of New Mexico's special program to train Indian lawyers and was a founding member of the American Indian Law Students Association while in law school. John has been with NARV since its inception in 1970, having served continuously as executive director since 1977. He has been recognized as one of the 100 most influential lawyers in America by the National Law Journal and has received numerous service awards and other recognition for his leadership in the Indian law field, including the 2023 Thurgood Marshall Award from the American Bar Association. He serves on the boards of the Association on American Indian Affairs, the Indigenous Language Institute, National Resources Defense Council, Grand Canyon Trust, Native Ways Federation, Water Foundation, Keystone Policy Center, and the National Center for American Indian Enterprise Development. Please welcome me and join me in welcoming John Echohawk.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be asked to speak at the graduation today. I want to start by congratulating the class of 2024. Congratulations. I know a lot of hard work went into that, and you earned it. Keep it up. I'm speaking at the invitation of Dean Ennis. We got to meet a few months ago. We were both giving welcoming remarks to a conference here at CU. The experts involved in the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples and the Indigenous Peoples Forum that they have to talk about that every year at the UN, and we all got together for dinner that evening, and I got a chance to sit next to Dean Ennis, and we had a chance to get acquainted. And she heard my story, and so I think she wants me to tell it today.
You heard a little bit about it in the introduction. I was a graduate of the University of New Mexico Law School down in Albuquerque. I'm a Pawnee Indian and was raised in New Mexico, even though my tribe is from Oklahoma. My father was a land surveyor, and he surveyed leases on the Indian lands around Farmington, New Mexico, where I grew up. There's, of course, the Navajo Nation, the Southern Ute, the Ute Mountain, and the Jicarilla Apache tribe. So I got to see all that Indian country and meet a lot of Indian people, and that is something that really stuck with me. I was the third of 6 kids in our family. My father, my mother, they didn't have college educations, but they really wanted us to get college educations. They knew how important that was, so they were very strict, made us study. So I made good grades. I got an academic scholarship to go to college. I didn't know what I would do with that degree, but I had a lot of my teachers encourage me to be a lawyer. I had been elected as president of the student body there at Farmington High School, and they thought I had some skills maybe to be a lawyer, and okay, well, all right. So I went to college to get ready to go to law school. I spent 4 years getting ready to go to law school, and when I graduated, getting ready to graduate, I checked at the law school there at the University of New Mexico to make sure they had my application, and to also check in on scholarship funds, because I would need a scholarship to go into law school. And I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. There in 1967, they had me talk to the dean of the law school, and he told me they had just received word from the Office of Economic Opportunity in Washington, D.C., that they would be administering a scholarship program for Indians to go to law school. They figured trying to get some Indian professionals, lawyers, and doctors is one of the best things they could do to help get Indians out of poverty. So I got a scholarship to go to law school there, together with some other Native American students, and then to the credit of that law school, they put together one of the first courses ever taught in federal Indian law in a law school. This was a time of the civil rights movement. It was starting to impact minorities across the country, including Native Americans. The federal policy at that time was one of terminating tribes, eliminating our tribes, forcing us to move from our lands into the cities. And it's just something they never really asked our people about, something we didn't like. Our people started demonstrating and pushed the federal government to make a change in that policy, and that happened under President Nixon in 1970, the year I graduated from law school. Rejected termination, assimilation, encouraged self-determination by recognizing the treaties and the sovereignty of Indian tribes, and away we went. It's something that really captured my interest. I didn't know what I was going to do as a lawyer, but boy, I got interested in federal Indian law very soon and became a passion with me. When I graduated from law school in 1970, I went to work for California Indian Legal Services, one of the few legal aid offices around the country serving Indians. Our people were the poorest of the poor, didn't have any money for lawyers, but we had all these rights under the treaties and everything, but it was going unenforced because we didn't have any lawyers. So as soon as I got out to California, they got a grant from the Ford Foundation in New York City that had been funding the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, the Mexican American Legal Defense Fund, and providing legal representation to those minorities to assert their equal rights, which of course is a basic right here in America. Everybody's entitled to be free from discrimination. So the Ford Foundation decided they should start one for Native Americans. So the California Indian Legal Services Program had been doing good work, so they got the notice of the Ford Foundation. They got this grant. So as soon as I got out to California, again, right place, right time. They asked me, do you want to work to start a National Indian Legal Defense Fund? Sure. So away we went. After a year in California getting organized, we incorporated separately and moved our headquarters here to Boulder, Colorado. Most of these tribes are located west of the Mississippi, and of course from Denver you can really kind of fly anywhere pretty fast, so we figured this central location was the best thing that we could do. We had the interest of the law school. They didn't know much about it, but they were ready to learn, so we helped them implement the first federal Indian law course here at the Colorado Law School. We were under the leadership of David Getches, our founding executive director, and he was instrumental in bringing the first big case that the Native American Rights Fund started in 1970, and that was the U.S. v. Washington litigation up in the Northwest involving the treaty rights of those tribes up there in Washington State. They had 1855 treaties that promised them the right to take fish at the usual and accustomed places in common with the citizens of the state. The state of Washington had been interpreting that language to mean you got to get a fishing license just like everybody else. But that's not the way the tribes understood that, so we helped them bring their arguments to court, and we won. Judge Bolt, he became very famous for his decision in 1974, ruled that those tribes were entitled to take up to half of the fish. The salmon, that was their livelihood, that was their religion, that was their culture. They could take up to half the fish under this treaty provision. And that ended up being affirmed at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals and eventually the U.S. Supreme Court. And it became a famous treaty case and really helped us all across the country in terms of the litigation we started undertaking for tribes. Everybody's starting to understand these treaties, not ancient history, supreme law of the land under the Constitution. And it really changed everything in Indian country. We were recently at a conference here at the CU Law School celebrating a book that was done on this Bolt decision, the treaty rights, that was done by Charles Wilkinson, a former, of course, professor here. We just passed away recently. This was the last book that Charles had written. Charles knew all about it because he worked with David and I at the Native American Rights Fund for many years in the 1970s before he ended up being a law professor. He worked with David in putting together one of the first case books in federal Indian law ever written. David and Charles. Great combination. We had another lawyer over at the Native American Rights Fund that eventually became a law professor over here, Rick Collins, again, another brilliant lawyer who's an expert in federal Indian law and many other things as well. The law school here, in recognition of all the work that David Getches and Charles Wilkinson did, put together the Getches-Wilkinson Center for Natural Resources, Energy, and Environment. And I've been privileged to serve on that advisory council, and they really help the law school get involved in all of those Western issues dealing with natural resources, energy, and environment. And I am always pleased to help out to make sure that they know about federal Indian law and do things that we need to have done in terms of helping our tribes. So the center has been a great resource for us. One of the things that David and Charles helped to do in that capacity was to start the Grand Canyon Trust. So many tribes live down there on the Colorado Plateau around the Grand Canyon, and they needed assistance there, and the Grand Canyon Trust started helping them. And one of the things the Grand Canyon Trust did is help the tribes in that area put together a proposal to President Obama to start the Bears Ears National Monument. in recognition of the fact that even though those were federal lands, that they were still being used by the tribes all these years, cultural, religious purposes, and the national monument status really helped to protect that and further, the tribe's use of those lands. And it really kind of woke up this part of the country, and really the entire country. We had so many requests coming in and everything, people wanting to know more about that. And basically what was happening was people were coming to realize that all of this land in this country used to be tribal land. And we still use a lot of that land today for cultural and religious and other purposes. And that needs to be continued. And so that's led to something that's very prominent in Washington, D.C. these days, and now all across the West, and that is co-management of federal lands between the federal government and the tribal government, recognizing, this use of these lands all of these years, and that still needs to be protected. So this co-management is something that really kind of started here at the University of Colorado, thanks to David and Charles, and I've continued that in my membership on the board of the Grand Canyon Trust, making sure that they continue to work on those issues. All this time since we started beginning in the 70s, we've provided legal representation on these most important cases. And of course, the focus ends up in the end being on the United States Supreme Court and whether they uphold federal Indian law as we know it or not. And we did pretty well through the 70s and 80s, but in the 90s, as the makeup of the Supreme Court began to change, we started seeing that we weren't winning as many of these cases. In fact, we ended up with a losing record in 2001, and this is something that had really been capturing our attention. One of the things that we had done in anticipation of what was happening there at the court was to start working at the United Nations for the tribes to adopt a declaration on the rights of indigenous peoples in the United Nations that the nations would be encouraged to adopt. And then in 2001, we started the Tribal Supreme Court Project to get everybody working closer together across Indian country on these cases if they went to the court, but mainly advising people do not go to the court. It's a dangerous court. They don't care about federal Indian law. They'll change the law. And so we've been at that project now since 2001. Of course, as the makeup of the court changes, their record changes, and it's a difficult process right now. We're doing pretty well with the makeup of this court. It's always very close, but we're looking pretty good. We, as I said, had this conference here at CU. The experts dealing with the Permanent Forum on implementation of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, and we really have worked on that all these years. We had the assistance of the Colorado Law School again in 2016 when the CU Law School brought in James Anaya as the Dean of the Law School. And James is someone who had been serving as Special Rapporteur at the United Nations all those years. We'd been working with him. And he said one of the reasons he took the job here at CU is to be right next to us so we could work together on implementing that UN declaration here in the United States. So we've got this implementation project going with the University of Colorado, and Professor Kristen Carpenter is the lead on that for the CU Law School. We really appreciate the opportunity to work with her. They just had a big meeting of this permanent forum again up in New York City, and Dean Ennis went up there, with Kristen and lots of other people there working on the implementation of this declaration at the UN. We have just really benefited from this relationship with CU all these years. You graduates are really lucky to have gone to this law school. It's a great law school. It's been of great help to our Native American people over all these years, and I just really appreciate the opportunity to come and share that with you. Again, when I started law school, I didn't know what I wanted to do with a law degree. I just wanted to be a lawyer, and so I developed that passion pretty fast, that interest, and I'm hoping you all do that as well. If you haven't found that passion, that interest yet, keep looking. If you have, go do it. Change the world. Congratulations once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John Eckelhawk, for your words of wisdom. I know that we all appreciate them and value you and the tremendous relationship that we have had with you and your entire organization. I would now like to introduce Dean Emily Horowitz, who will help us to move forward with what we have all been waiting for, the hooding and the awarding of the degrees. So I am going to step aside.
Thank you.
And let this begin.
Thank you, Dean Ennis. Good morning. We will now begin the hooding of our class officers and banner bearers, the LLM graduates, then the JD graduates, followed by our MSL graduates. Please come forward row by row and hand me your name card. Once the person in front of you is hooded, please walk to the center of the stage to be hooded, then continue walking so you can be congratulated by Dean Ennis and you will receive your symbolic diploma. Stephanie Diane Reifenberg. Justin Paul Maloney. Brittany Ann Beecher. Anita Marie Glazer. Caitlin R. Dacus. Michaela Brianna Levi. John Ako Afghanika. Raja Muhammad Aslam. Valentin Gutierrez. Jo Ann Marie Hills. Leslie Alice Kenny. Hyan Hoon Kim. Kristen Lomeli Feston. Atithep Mias. Rina Mehana. Samane Mohebi Fard. Nara Oak. Pragya Panta. Nestor D. Rodriguez. Maria Staff. Christina Konstantinovna Abdullah. Stephen Joseph Abraham Aquario. Haley Brooke Adler. Mildred Alvarez. Go for it. Sanam Analui. Audrey T. Arroyo. Benjamin David Osser. Alexis Catherine Aylward. Benjamin Scott Basilio. Emily Noel Bauer. John Robert Bellapani. Calvin Richard Bennett. Sarah Kate Berman. Joshua Ray Bertolato. Elizabeth Bird. Elizabeth Ann Bollendonk. Jennifer Catherine Bomarito. Hannah N. Borowski. Khalef El Botan. Alexander James Brack. Megan Hannah Bryan. Madeline Elizabeth Carr. Jennifer Shalafo Jean. Madeline Shalafo Jean. Andrew James Clark. Kesaya Weihuan Clement. Emma Francis Cohen. Caden Niall Daly. Andrew Warren Dalton. Benjamin Griffin Dario. Karina Noel Davis. Dylan Patrick DiMaderos. Isabel Ava Dean. Madeline Brooke Dobkin. Malia Ginger Eastman. Ryan John Ellinger. Lucas Barton Ellick. Tegan Claire Ellis. Song Ria Faulkner. Catherine Elizabeth Ferry. Adam Cohen Fisher. Luis Flegel. Kimberly Ann Watson Fry. Simon Rhett Fernie. Dr. Christopher James Garcia. Spencer Benedict Garcia. Rachel Elizabeth Gassert. J.P. Gillen. Landon Chase Glover. Julia Annette Golombek. Charlotte Miranda Goodnow. Courtney Elise Griffin. Robert T. Grindell Jr. Colin Francis Groves. Michael Xavier Golston. Alex Hambrecht. Sean Harms. Rachel Madison Hoyman. Carter Neil Hilty. Tyler James Hollenbach. Jacob Jackson Hoyer. Andrew William Hua. Colin Werford Hull. Emily Ward Ibarra. Vincent Benjamin Hasso. Marissa C. Jors. Ariel Rachel Jones. Catherine Casina. Suchinder Kalyan. Brian David Karp. Jamil Abdu Kasahoun. Catherine Scanlon Kelly. Andrew Marcus Ken. Zoe Ann Kirchhoff. Melissa Armina Klein. Tanner Cofield. Richard Ryan Coltis. Ellie Licata. Alexandra Catherine Lopez. Evan James Mahan. Michelle Sambili Mansau. Ashley Victoria Manrique Stevens. Madeline Elizabeth Marisk Muller. Joseph P. Martin. Meals Martin. Thomas Martin. Eli Gabriel Martinez. Christina Catherine Maude. Austin Sage McCleary. Reagan James McDonald. Melissa McElroy. Michelle McEwen. Allison Noon McMahon. Jackson Gray McNeil. Oshika Moitra. Natalie Claire Negrelli. Casey Jane Nelson. Kay Tartan Newman. Leonard Tree Wen. Alexandra Tornell Nielsen. Brett Marshall Nordmeyer. Harrison Fuller North. Emily Marie Norwood. Benjamin Thomas O'Leary. Joshua John Olson. Alexis Jane Opper. Logan Amber Osborne. Tyler Walker Parcham. Alec Daniel Peters. Veronica Ann Pfeiffer. Marlena Zollinger Pinto. Alexandria Victoria Pontius. Harper Eliza Powell. John Forrester Preston. Arancha Zena Prince. Heather Lee Regner. Dejana Richardson. Grace Catherine Riley. Jose Angel Rodriguez III. Sheridan Joanne Romo. Cherokee Deja Ronaldo Valdez. Christopher Ryan Raleigh. Jack Patrick Ryan. Odelia Evelyn Ryan. Micaela Delgado Schluter. Hannah Daisy Schmidt. Samuel Isaac Schneider. Jacob A. Scobie. Catherine Lillian Seacrest. Kennedy Danielle Sheets. Mary Elizabeth Slauson. Zachary J. Schneider. Henok Solomon. Claire Song. Gianfranco Sotomayor. Ashton Ryan Stieg. Paul Stevenson. TJ Stokes. Clarice Tenario. Rebecca Ann Townsend. Alexandra Alisa Trevino. Emily Mardell Trouch. Riley Chapman Varner. Jocelyn Vasquez Alas. Aza Verkenkotter Verhoeven. Abigail Claire Walker. Eugene Patrick Wang. Michael J.P. Warren. Nicholas Vaughn Wynot. Madeline M. Williams. Ricardo Andres Zors. Julian Aragon. Tanner Christian Fife. Tia Marie Flynn. Shannon Marie Jameson. Michael Anthony Vasquez. Congratulations.
I'd now like to welcome our Law Alumni Board Chairperson, Caitlin McHugh, Colorado Law Class of 2012.
Hello. On behalf of the Law Alumni Board and all of the alumni, I'm here to say congratulations and welcome. You are now officially alumni of the University of Colorado Law School and join the ranks of over 8,500 fellow graduates of this fine law school. We're so thrilled to have you. As you go out in the world, I encourage you to stay connected to the alumni and the law school. We have a vibrant alumni community doing all kinds of interesting things across businesses, industries, law firms, nonprofit, courts, and government. They want to get to know you, they want to connect with you, and they want to help you. Please do so. I will tell you that although I am only 12 years into my career, which you'll learn goes by in the blink of an eye and is very, very early, it's been wonderful. I love being a lawyer. I hope you will too. I hope you find a way to find a career that brings you interesting issues and joy. As you do so, please stay connected with your law school. We want to know about you and your professional and personal accomplishments. I invite you to find ways to continue to connect. Staying in touch with my classmates, alumni, and the law school has brought me so much joy. There are so many opportunities. You can attend alumni events, share your story with future students, take continuing legal education credits, and come up to the law school and help with current law students. I'm sure many of you have engaged with alumni. With that, I tell you congratulations. Welcome to the Colorado Law Alumni family, and we'll see you at homecoming in September.
I want to once again thank you, family, friends, students, staff, faculty, for joining us on this momentous occasion. And I want to offer once again warmest congratulations to our MSL, LLM, and JD graduates. Before we close, I want to give the JD graduates a special charge that comes from the late Dean Don W. Sears, who was the 8th Dean and was a professor emeritus at the law school. Dean Sears wrote, "You have now received the JD degree. Please do not take undue pride in this title, for in the final analysis, the test of your professional fitness will lie not in your title, but rather in your service to society and in the extent to which you combine professional skills with humane concern, legal learning, with intense integrity, great energy, and high ideals. What kind of lawyer you will be depends in large part on the kind of person that you are. I hope that you may continue to grow in that. In the years to come, you will live the most challenging life of all, the life of the mind, the life of service. To you all, we wish great success in your chosen profession, and to all of our degree recipients, we wish the greatest success, and we especially wish you courage at the intersection of joy. And that concludes our ceremony.
All right.